Hi, I'm Caroline Gow in the Baird and Warner Glenbrook office. And today I thought it would be important to talk to a volunteer with the Hunger Resource Network. With schools being closed, and community centers and daycares not being able to reach their constituents, the need is great and the pantries are overrun and maxed out. So I am grateful to have Melissa Morreale here. She's been a volunteer with the Hunger Resource Network right here in Northbrook for almost 2 years. And so Melissa, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to talk with us today.
Oh, thank you so much. It's so nice to be able to share Hunger Resource Network's mission and get the word out there about the need that the community is experiencing now with food insecurity.
Indeed, right. So thank you. So can you tell us a little bit how Hunger Resource Network does help our local community?
Well, Hunger Resource Network, our mission is to help alleviate food insecurity in the Chicagoland area. So to raise money, and then twice a year, we provide healthy protein in the form of frozen chicken to area food pantries, shelters, and homeless soup kitchens. So we raise money and buy the chicken at a reduced price. We typically donate about 126,000 pounds every time we do it. And we do it twice a year. We try to do it 2 weeks before Easter and 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. This year, we were scheduled to deliver 126,000 pounds to our 100 agencies that we partner with. But then COVID-19 happened, and we had to cancel our community outreach day and try to come up with a way to get this chicken to people. We had to cancel it because of the social distancing, but then again, the need was greater than ever to get this chicken out. So we did a mini community outreach day with just board members, and the larger organizations such as Salvation Army, Catholic Charities were able to come up and pick up the chicken in full pallets. And then they were able to deliver to some of our smaller agencies that weren't able to make it. In addition to that, the smaller agencies that we weren't able to help, we approved immediate emergency funding. So we called some of our smaller agencies. The problem that they're also having is a lot of these agencies have community dinners, and some of their food pantries are in their local churches, and those have closed now.
Oh, okay.
So now those communities have been left without that resource. So what we did is we came up with, talked to some of our agency, found out what their need was, as well as our neighborhood, surrounding neighborhood community food banks, such as Wheeling, Highland Park, West Deerfield, Niles, and we approved $10,000 in emergency funds to get out to these organizations.
Amazing.
So they could get more food, so they could get gift cards to these people. And we're going to regroup in a couple of weeks and see if we can send out another second wave of emergency funding that's so badly needed in these areas right now. Hunger Resource Network takes care of people from all the way up to Waukegan, all the way to Fox Valley and the south side of Chicago.
Oh, so that's a huge area. So other than these centers being closed, what other kind of impacts have you seen that the pandemic has had with your food pantries that you serve?
Well, I mean, the influx that they have is just tremendous. A lot of them are served by the greater Chicago Food Depository and then the Northern Illinois Food Bank. And even they're running out of food. So without the stimulus money and unemployment being so hard to get, you're even seeing pop-up food pantries some places in Chicago. So it's just really, really overwhelming. I actually got a phone call from a Northbrook resident yesterday wanting to know what to do because he hadn't had food for 3 days. Oh. He doesn't have a car. So it's the the need is incredible.
That's heartbreaking, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you today, is to get the word out, because I think some people think that it's not in their neighborhood or in their community, but it is here in Northbrook, and it is in our local towns.
Very much so. And even before the pandemic, there was a great need. I mean, people are surprised that in an affluent area such as Northbrook that this happens, but that there is food insecurity. But that is apparent by we have another program called Hunger Free Northbrook. And when we found out that there were almost 400 kids on free and reduced lunch in Northbrook, it really touched us. And we thought, you know what, we need to start a program to help our local students. So that's when we started the student food pack program. It just started. We just kind of started. It was in its infancy, unfortunately, when the pandemic hit. But the process is, as we talked, we don't know who the students are. The state of Illinois lets the schools know who qualifies for free and reduced lunches. And then the social workers really stepped in from the schools and called these kids and their families to see if they wanted to participate in this program. Surprisingly, some people turned us down because there is that stigma with food insecurity and having, having to use charity. There's language divides, which you wouldn't think that there are, but there's generational pride that we have to overcome. But we had just contacted, we were still in the process of contacting all of our school districts when this hit and the schools closed down. One of the social workers has really stepped up in her school district, and we've gone from serving 45 kids to 83 kids, each students, and they each get a food pack. The food pack was supposed to be to take care of them on the weekends. So one food pack is good for 8 meals for the 4 weekends, right? Mm-hmm. Well, now these food packs are starting to be not supplemental. They're the main source of food for these families.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
So that's when we started getting the community involved and Sign Up Genius. And boy, oh boy, has this community stepped up. I mean, last month we delivered 118 bags of food to these families. This month, in June, we hope to deliver 225. As a matter of fact, the need is so great and the response has been so wonderful from our generous community that we've decided to extend this program through August.
I know that the Sign Up Genius has made it very easy for people to help with that too, because you don't have to have contact when you're going out grocery shopping anyway. You can get things for this bag, and I know you can choose between bag A, bag B. So is that going to proceed the same for the summer?
It is going to proceed the same for the summer. What's nice about the bag A and bag B is when we were starting this program, again, along with our mission to get healthy protein to food banks, we wanted these bags to be nutritious. So we worked with a nutritionist to help us come up with a nice balance of food that would be nutritious for these families. And that's the difference between bag A and bag B. They're both very nutritious, but still, healthy food that the families will enjoy eating.
Tell us about the chicken event. I know you said it was in a different form this spring. Yeah. Do you anticipate having another one later in the year?
We we are planning on doing another chicken day in November. We just actually had a board meeting and was wondering if we want to buy the chicken or not, because who knows what the fall's going to look like. What we do know is that pandemic or no pandemic, there's still going to be a need for healthy protein in our communities. So we decided to go ahead and purchase the chicken. So we are going to have a chicken day in November. Hopefully we'll be back to the 125 volunteers we have every day. I see one of the semis behind you is a picture of some of our volunteers with our banner. it's such a fun experience doing it. We do it. Sunset Foods is kind enough to give us their parking lot to do it in. And it is such a fun, wonderful experience. Some of these people, I mean, these are all volunteers. Some of these people get up early in the morning, rent a U-Haul, and will drive 3 hours to pick up a case of chicken. I mean, it's incredible, the need, and they're all so thankful and so appreciative that we do this. And a lot of times they pick them up and they said, this is going to be gone by tonight.
Oh. What other ways can volunteers be involved? They can help at this event coming up in November, and then they can drop off food bags before. Are there other volunteer opportunities?
Right now, we do. Those are our two main volunteer opportunities: the bags and then the chicken day. On our website, hungerresourcenetwork.org, there is a volunteer form that you can fill out. We were hoping to have a gala. We were going to have a big gala event, a big fundraiser in October at Pinstripes that we're not going to be able to physically do anymore. But we were going to have a lot of volunteers for that, helping with getting the gala up and running. So now we're rethinking it, and we're going to be doing our event a different way. But sometimes we have opportunities for food rescue. We always try to find something to do when someone wants to volunteer their time. And we always get back to everybody who fills out the volunteer form. So we'd love to have you fill out a volunteer form, and we get back to you and try to find a spot for you.
Sometimes I get questions from people who are having an event. Let's say it's a school function and they have leftover pizzas or leftover food, and we've in the past taken it to the police department or things. Is Hunger Resource Network another source for that, or that's not exactly the same thing?
We worked with Medline, Allstate, and every hospital in the North Shore University Health Systems are now rescuing food, and they're bringing their food left over from cafeteria or for corporate events, and they've contacted their local food banks. So now that's a sustainable program that they have going, and we've stepped back from that, but that's something that's ongoing that we did. Culver's actually is opening the first weekend, I believe, in June, and they're doing training. When they do training, they make hamburgers, or they make chicken sandwiches, and they make sundaes and stuff like that. So right now, today, we're trying to figure out ways that we can rescue that food, maybe bring it to Crestwood Senior Place, maybe bring it to the food pantry, to see where that can go. Some of our volunteers have come up with their own ideas. And for instance, one of our volunteers reached out to, I believe it was Once Upon a Bagel, and during Passover, put a note on there saying, if you have any leftover food, this is what you can do, and had instructions on how to package the food and get it over to the Northbrook food pantry. So if we do, is a really, really important part.
Sorry, I interrupted you. So if we do have events or things, we could call Hunger Resource Northbrook?
If pre-event, if there's food left over, we would work with you to see if it's something feasible that the Northbrook food pantry would want.
Okay. All right, sounds good. And then if somebody wanted to make a donation, do you prefer food donations or cash, or all of the above?
All of the above. Hunger Resource Network is a fundraising organization. So we raise money in order to buy chicken to supply healthy protein to the area agencies that need them the most. Hunger Free Northbrook, a lot of people like doing the shopping. They like doing that hands-on. But in this age of COVID, a lot of people don't want to do that. We did put a button on the Sign Up Genius a link that will take you to the Hunger Resource Network website. And you can donate on Hunger Resource Network. And if you want the money to go to the student food pack, you can just put that in the comment area, earmark that money. We'll make sure it goes to getting a package of food to the students in Northbrook.
I think there are a lot of people that want to know how to help, and I think just getting the word out that there is a need, and this is an easy way for somebody to step up, either in volunteering or in money or time. So I appreciate you talking with us about the different options, and good luck with your summer programs. And what you're doing is just amazing to help in our community.
Thank you so much. I mean, again, this is such a generous community, and you know, the need is great. So any way you can donate, we'd really appreciate it.
Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Carolyn.